Now it's the Cundy and Nathan show.
Here we go then. Another
Started
podcast. Cundy and Nathan show is back for
Are we actually
episode.
doing it?
Yeah, we're doing it now, right now. It's episode 3. Who knows?
Can't be. We got to be have done 10 by now, surely.
It's the one after the last episode. Well, the amount of times that we threatened to do another podcast, I think we should be up to about 15 or 16 by now.
It's just nightmarish trying to get it organised. We got such busy lives.
Yeah, that is true. It's more to do with the time difference than anything else, right?
Yeah, time difference, and then commitments to other things.
Commitments, can't be bothered.
I've got a lot of looking out the window to do.
Yeah, I'm doing that now at the moment. I don't know if you know. Oh no, I did just tell you, didn't I? Dubai right now is completely flooded.
With what?
Acid.
Bricks.
Yeah.
Acid.
Yeah. It's there's no. I think I mentioned this on a previous podcast, but there is no drainage here. So in your typical sort of like Western world, like the UK, you got a little grid and the excess water dribbles down there. This place doesn't have any of that. None of it.
Just surface water, constantly. So where does it all go there? Where does it all run off to?
Well, I'm watching people just drive through it now, round the roundabout. It's about 2 foot deep round this roundabout, and they're just flying through it.
I suppose when the sun comes out, it'll just start boiling.
Exactly.
And turn into steam, and then we'll get all clouds, and it'll piss down with sand in it over here.
Exactly.
Nice one.
But like in the UK, when we get like snow days and all the schools are closed, and sometimes the offices are closed as well.
I do, yeah. We haven't had one for a while. Any of that, mind?
No, well, that's global warming, mate. But we've got a rain day tomorrow, so all the schools and offices are closed because it's going to bucket down again.
Instead of making snowmen, you're making Rain Man.
Making Rain Man. Yeah, they
Charlie
don't.
Babbitt.
They don't last very long.
Charlie Babbitt.
Another laser hot contemporary reference there from Mr. Cundy.
Rain Man.
Rain Man. Anyway, should we talk about some games? Considering that's the sort of path that we're going down now with this podcast.
I can't believe they built Dubai on. We built this city without drains. That's madness.
Yeah.
Who was in charge of planning over there?
Probably one of the sheikhs.
Well, I'll tell you what, we don't need any drains. We'll shave a few mil off the price and we'll pocket that.
To be fair, it doesn't rain that often.
Well, sick.
So it seems stupid to prepare for that if it doesn't rain that often. It's like the UK getting like sun shields put up over the top of it.
Don't get much snow, but I still got a sledge in the loft.
That's never coming out.
I've not even got a loft. I just made that up.
Is it just stuck to the ceiling?
I don't have a loft. No, I've got to get rid of stuff because I'm having to live in it's almost like I'm living in a Russian doll, but I'm working backwards. So, used to live in a big place, and now I'm slowly working my way back to the one that is just a solid thing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to open. There is nothing inside it. Just me, with my arms down by my side, the walls either side of me.
Sounds good.
That's me. I'm the smallest Russian doll.
Good stuff.
A Russian doll. This one for the kids.
Yeah, another, again, on the pulse.
So we're on the Cliff Richard podcast.
Yes.
Let's do it.
What have you been playing at the moment then?
Oh!
Because you was keen to talk about something in particular, wasn't you?
Game Klaxon. So I actually played Firewatch, which I thought would be worth talking about because
yes,
it was one of my anticipated games from one of our previous podcasts.
It was,
unless I dreamt all of that. So I was really looking forward to it. So I bought it and everything, with money. And you know what? It's fucking really boring.
Really?
Really, really boring. I was playing it and I was just getting more and more angry.
In what way? Can you give us a little brief about what you actually do in Firewatch?
Right, so in the game, the trailer kind of made it look a bit like a thriller or something, So I knew it was going to be quite heavy on story, but I was at least expecting maybe a slightly interactive story.
Right.
But the level of interaction is so minimal. There is nothing. I mean, you literally just walk around.
Yeah.
Occasionally you have to climb down or up stuff.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's your interaction. You can pick up objects.
Yeah.
You can pick up almost anything in the world, but nothing does anything. There's nothing. There's no puzzles. There's nothing. I just don't. Just made me furious, mate. It's like it's like walking simulator. So like people refer to it as a walking simulator.
Wow.
And the more I was playing it, I was like, I could. What is the point of this? I could just go and have a walk, because there is nothing else to this game than walking. And I don't know. It just like I needed something there, so I spent all this time walking around in this world, hoping to find something that resembled a game or something to do other than just trigger the next story bit off.
Right.
But it never came. And the world, like the thing that drew me to it, you know me, I'm fairly arty kind of.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So all the arty games, they sort of appeal to me.
Oh yeah.
'Cause, I'm in with all that, and They built this city. They built this world, and it looks really nice. It looks lovely, but half the time,
I'm
spitting. I'm actually spitting with rage. I just spat on my keyboard.
Don't do that. It's disgusting.
Half the time, it's quite hard to navigate. The paths aren't always that clear, so you're constantly looking at your map.
Right.
So you're not even able to like enjoy the scenery.
Right, okay, because you're constantly looking at the map. Is there does it not just like, do you not have like a...
There's no HUD pointer or nothing.
Right, okay.
None of that. Yeah, it's all like old school.
Okay.
Apparently they've released, you can they've released like a PDF thing so you can print out a map so you can have it.
Oh my God.
Rather than having to keep bringing it up. But it's just, the whole game was fucking pointless. It's just pointless. And nothing you do has any effect on anything.
Right.
Whatever choices you make they don't do anything. None of the stuff in the world does much. Even the world itself is weirdly sterile.
Right.
There's no the woods. There's nothing in the area because you're in the woods looking for fires and stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing. But I just thought, who makes a game like that? Who makes a game that is so pointless? All I could think is, I'm wasting my time. This is like a proper, like when people say, don't play video games, they're a waste of time.
Yeah.
That for me was it. It was like, you know what? I am actually wasting my time here.
So it's a little bit more like a sort of like art installation then. Like if you was to sort of play that in a gallery and you'd be like, oh, this is quite a nice experience. Or is it still bad?
Because of the trouble I had navigating, I couldn't even enjoy that. Maybe like stills, if they just had stills of the game up.
Right.
Then that would be...
Because it's Ollie Moss, isn't it, that did the art direction?
The art direction. I mean, it looks, the bits in... When you see screenshots, it looks really nice, but I got all the way through the game and I couldn't really...
Come on,
remember
just
one area.
Spoil it up. Spoil it up. If you're listening and you don't want Firewatch spoiling, then turn off now and turn back on again in a couple of minutes. But I'm prepared to have it spoiled because I'm not going to play it.
So at the end of the game, you all the way through the game, you're having conversation with this woman called Delilah, who's in one of the other watchtowers, the Firewatch towers, and all the way through the game, you're kind of hoping that you're going to get to meet her. But you don't. She leaves before you get to her thing at the end, and you just get airlifted out. So there's a big fire raging.
So hang on, is it more? It's like a psychological thing of, did that person ever exist?
Yeah, it's no. She is definitely there, but the player, what's the main guy called? He's called Henry, and he goes there. He's having like a load of shit happen in his life, so he goes into the. Now I kind of thought this was a bit of a metaphor for games. This is how much that kind of angered me. He's having a lot of shit going on in his life, so he escapes into this. He isolates himself from everyone
into
in
the woods. It sounds like you, mate. It sounds like
I could kind of connect with that because it's like that's a little bit like what I do when I'm playing video games.
No, just meaning like real life, just like
isolate myself.
Yeah, as soon as you left radar, just like disappeared off and was like, I'm not talking to anyone.
Cut myself off and just go underground.
Because that's what you enjoy, keeping yourself to yourself.
Yeah, solitary. I'm a solitary animal.
So I thought this game would have reflected well on you then, this type of experience. No,
but it did make me think, well, maybe Henry is meant to be like a gamer because and really the message of the game is don't play too many video games to escape from real life, because effectively video games are pointless and nothing you do in there changes, because at the end of the game the woman says, go back to your other life and sort all your shit out. because you're not solving anything being in the fucking woods.
Right. Well, definitely will not be getting that.
Save yourself, mate, because our people can give it like 10.
Yeah?
They're on drugs or something.
So you're not, you wouldn't recommend it, that's what we're getting to here.
If you want to have a walk, go have a walk. I know that's like a cheap thing to say about a game, like, I'd rather, why not play a real game of football as opposed to sitting down. But it's not the same, because FIFA offers so many other things that actually playing football doesn't. It's a different experience.
Yeah.
But this was just, it was worse than a real walk, so what was the point?
Literally going for a walk.
I would rather just have a walk, and the scenery in real life is better than a game anyway, but...
Depends where you live,
I don't know. It was nuts. But I was really, really gutted that I didn't... I was desperate, really desperate to like it, but as hard as I tried, I could not, con myself into thinking, you know what, this is a great game. Little Nell played it, my daughter. She played it on her own, actually.
Yeah.
She didn't mind it. She enjoyed it more than I did, but she's only 9.
So what you're saying is, not for adults, more for 9-year-olds.
There's the story that's in it. You know, he has all these things going on in his head. Like, he thinks that there's more going on than there is. He thinks there's like a big conspiracy happening. Yeah. When really it all turns out that that nothing's happening.
Right.
That's the nothing really happened, and everything's the same as if you hadn't played this game. Yeah. If this character hadn't been here, nothing would have changed. Nothing would have happened differently.
So buy it or not?
No.
No. That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted.
No.
Fair enough.
So that's a big... So walking simulators, if you're going to have a game of walking's a fairly common feature in a lot of games. So, do something else.
Anything.
I don't know, it was anything. It was just like... Do you know what? It kind of made me think...
Feels like it's got you really boiled up, this. Like, it hasn't lived up to your expectations and you're furious about it.
It felt like some of the objects that were in there, it felt like they should have played a bigger part. You find stuff where there's like a radio schematic. There's all these bits that makes you think, oh, I wonder if there was meant to be a puzzle, because you can keep objects, and it kind of makes you think that maybe there was more of a game there, and they just stripped it back when they realised that they weren't going to get those aspects of the game finished.
Right, okay.
And maybe the not seeing other people is just because they can't do other people. Maybe they can't do faces. You meet a guy, the only other human that you see, there's a guy whose silhouette you see, don't see a real person. The helicopter guy who comes at the end, helmet on, can't see his face. And the person you're playing as, you never get to see yourself. It just makes you think, maybe they're just not very good at doing all of those things, so they've kind of cleverly scooted around having them in the game.
Yeah. True. Do you ever remember? I'm just going to sidetrack a second.
Get in there, mate. I've ranted
I know you have. But do you ever?
Do
you remember, like, Codemasters could never get the sort of spectators or the heads right on, like, the drivers in, like, F1 games or like the snooker games that they used to do. They was all like really strange, like they'd taken a digital photo of a face and just wrapped it around like an asparagus.
Yeah.
It was just all bumps all over the face and stuff.
You know, stuff is hard to do.
I think it is.
If you're not good at doing it, then it's probably better to find a cunning way around it.
Yeah.
You know, rather, like enemies wearing balaclavas and stuff saves a lot of time fucking about with hair and faces. You know.
It does. Well, it sounds like you've had a bad experience there, mate. Sounds
top
like you've had a
tips
bad
there
experience.
for some developers. If you can't do faces, stick a hat or a balaclava on them or whatever.
Perfect.
Or don't have it, or have a game where all you do is walk about, because that's all you can do.
Good God. Yeah, let's hope there's no more of those then. Walking simulators.
They couldn't even do the walking about right, because even that you needed to be bloody looking at a map all the time. They couldn't even make a world that was like easy to get around.
Right. You've broken Cundy. You have broken Cundy.
Need to move on, otherwise I'm going to sign out of Skype.
I know, it feels like you're on the verge of it.
And flagellate.
Flagellate. Well, a game that I'm playing at the moment, which is actually decent. In fact, did I tell you that I played Her Story on PC?
No, I don't think you did. That comes as a bit of a surprise, mate.
Yeah, it is a bit of a surprise. So I thought I'll throw this one in because it comes off I was thinking about it when you were saying that there's like this sort of mental aspect to Firewatch, and is she really there? Like, all the rest of it. Did you play Her Story?
No.
Okay, so I won't try to. I'll try not to spoil anything, but
I'm never going to play it.
You're never going to play it.
No.
Okay. It could be the spoiler-tastic cast that we've been promising to do for many a year. I'll try not to spoil it for everyone. But basically, like, Her Story, if you don't know what it is, it's about you're watching videos of like evidence videotapes from someone's been murdered, there's been a crime committed, and you're watching the videotapes of the interviews of the people that were involved in the murder or implicated in the murder.
Right.
The objective is to sort of piece the whole puzzle together via, I think there's like 100, 200 tapes. Like, there's loads of like mini clips, and you've got to put the story together. But at any time, like, you're on like a police computer, so it's like simulated like a police computer, and you're watching the videos and everything. And at any time after you get a phone call from someone, or like a instant message pops up on screen, and it says, right, are you ready? Have you seen all you need to see now? And like, are you ready to finish? So at any point you can finish the game then, and then you'll get the ending. So it'll tell you, it'll give you what the ending is. But it's very ambiguous. I played this with the missus. Like, it was something that we completely like got into because it's so basic. You're just watching clips, but but it makes you think as well, which is the beauty of it. Like, you're trying to work out the story. There's lots of evidence that you may or may not pick up on, and it all works brilliantly. Like, it's really sort of like a retro game, like a seriously retro game. And it also makes you feel like a little bit of a detective as well. But at the end of it, so it's quite ambiguous, but at the end of it, there's sort of two camps for what people believe at the end of it. And I'm not going to say what the two are, but I played it thinking a very, very different outcome to what I saw other people that I know came out with at the end of it as well.
Right. So it's all about interpretation, is it?
Yeah, exactly. I think there's probably more than two, but there are two massive interpretations for how, or two massive examples for how that story is supposed to end and who's supposed to have committed the murders and things like that. And it's just, like, I found the whole experience, it probably lasted, we probably played it for like 3-4 hours or so, like on and off. But I found the whole experience to be like really gripping, and I've not been into a game like that for a long time. And he's Sam Barlow, the guy who created it, has just he tweeted a while ago saying that they're making a second one. I don't know if it'll be a continuation or if it'll be like a completely new story, but like, I'm already like pretty excited about it because it's something unique. It's not a walking simulator, as you just mentioned there. It's not like a shooting sim. It's something that you can sit down, couple of clicks around, try and piece it together, gets the old grey matter working. And I think it's great, and I love the fact that at the end of it, it comes out with, it could be this or it could be that.
Is it like Professor Layton?
Yeah, but with less cartoony graphics. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
But
well, like anything that uses a medium and uses it differently, but uses it well as a vehicle to do a story or something well, is, that's a thing to be welcomed.
I was going to say, like, you should try it, but I know how quickly you get bored with things. Like, if they're not so yeah, I'm not sure whether I would recommend you getting it or not. Give it a go. I think you can get it on like your laptop for about a couple of quid.
Okay, now what am I made of money?
Not bringing in the big bucks anymore.
Ole!
But the game that I was
the
game, that I was going to talk about is Just Cause 3.
Just Cause. Baby.
Just Cause 3. Did you play
Well, that's the game you're going to talk about because you've been enjoying it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's what I would like to class it as, and I know this is going to sound like an oxymoron, but it's the perfect 7 out of 10 game.
That's good. You know me, I like 7 out of 10 games.
And
I'm all over them.
And I think there's a lack of 7 out of 10 games out there. It's either really good or terrible. Like that's the two sort of factions that games lie in at the moment. From like I'm not in the games industry anymore, but from the outside looking in, that's how it was always moving towards over the last 11 years that I was in the games industry. And now more than ever, the visibility of games is, this is absolutely terrible, don't buy it. This is absolutely amazing. You got to buy it. But Just Cause sits in the middle. It's a 7 out of 10. It's better than average. So it sits in the middle just because it does the explosions, the blowing things up, the shooting, the speeding around in cars, the beautiful vistas. Like, it does all of this, and then on the other side of all of that great stuff is like absolutely terrible storyline, awful mission structure. The guns feel like pea shooters at times, and it's just a bit like. But you
can forgive all of the bad stuff.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
The fun stuff makes it kind of.
It balances it out, and it makes it an exciting game. Like I realised the other day when I was playing it, I've spent maybe 2-3 hours just blowing stuff up. You can go around and like retake the islands that in this fictional Mediterranean like peninsula, if that's the right word. And you just you go around and you sort of like take them back by shooting up the bases, hijacking helicopters. Taking down all of the red glowing things. That's the signal that you're in a danger area. And the main bad guy in there is called DRM. So you can see they're having a little they're having a little poke in there. It's not the most subtle of
so you call it like a 7 out of 10 game, but every time I saw, because Just Cause 3 they had like a big ad campaign every year, and it's all on the sides of buses.
Yeah.
And it always made me chuckle whenever I saw it to myself, like laughing hysterically on the pavement.
Yeah.
Said, what was it was like the best game ever made or something like that was the review. Yeah. And I don't know who it's credited to, but that's the thing. Do you think 7 out of 10 games are still there, but they're just not marked as 7 out of 10 games? Is that?
I don't know. I think if you saw, I'd be interested to see if that quote was from a preview or a feature, or whether it was from a review and what the score was at the end of it.
It could have just been from Amazon or
exactly
something like that.
Exactly. But yeah, I've been playing that, and blowing shit up is fun, and that's all that I really wanted from it. It's like a huge sandbox. Go and nick a helicopter. There's none of this like, oh, you have to wait around before you can get access to this car or that tank or that plane or this weapon. GTA does and various other open world games. It's like, if you can see it, then you can get it. So just get it, play with it, throw it down, blow it up. That's it. Perfect.
Well, it's 73 on Metacritic. So
there you go. Perfect 7 out of 10 game.
Good solid 7 out of 10 game. Yeah, I have nothing against 7 out of 10 games for sure.
I'm trying to think of like other, like the last sort of 7 out of 10 game that I played, and I think it might have been Just Cause 2, but that's going back to PS2 days.
They got
PS2.
Just on other 7s that are on Metacritic. This is only for PS4.
Yeah.
Lego Marvel Avengers is on there.
Yeah, I think the Lego games are your classic 7 out of 10 games. Yeah.
Oh, is that oh no, that's a different one. Sorry, I've powered down. Star Wars Battlefront. Have you tried that?
No.
73. I haven't tried that either. I'm not interested.
Heavy
Rain.
I'm wondering like if it's because games are made with such high production values now that if that doesn't match with the actual gameplay, then that's automatically like seen as a bad thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if if it's a 7 out of 10 game, like it can look brilliant and look fantastic in all the ways that I've just described, Just Cause 3. But if people play it and it's not like, I don't know, the classic one is like, oh, it's not like GTA, I can't do these things, I can't do that things.
Yeah, like all the comparisons.
Yeah, I wonder if that's why people either go, oh, it's crap, or on the other side of that, it's like, oh, there's loads of explosions, there's loads of guns, there's loads of this lot, I'm going to overlook all of those things. Oh, it's the best game ever.
Yeah.
And and like, just being brutally honest, we've been to like press events and things like that where you go to a review event and it's presented in the best possible light that you can conceivably get, and you're caught up in the moment with all the rest of the people, and it's not until you get home, like I always like made whatever review I did, even if I was flown to like America or Tokyo or whatever, always made sure that when I was doing the review, it was in the safety of my own home, in my pants, in my usual game playing environment. Now, at those events, it's like, if you're with like people that think it's great, then it's going to be great. That'll reflect on you. If you're going to write the review quite quickly as well. If you're with a group that's like, and this happens, if you're with a group of people that are like, oh, it's awful, it's terrible, isn't it? It has a way of just swaying you into, yeah, I'm thinking like 5 out of 10 as well, 6 out of 10. I've never actually done that, but I've been privy to those sort of conversations that have gone on.
Yeah, I know, and especially leading up to hype and stuff as well. People so desperately want to like something.
Yeah. But I'd also say, like, some of the Call of Duties that have been out recently, they're classic 7 out of 10 games. If you brought the score structure back to where it should be, that's what they are.
The score structure now, I mean, the score structure's hasn't been working right for such a long time now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do use Metacritic all the time now. I don't really look at reviews. I do go to Metacritic and get an average. That's good enough for me. And then I'll make up my own mind anyway.
8 and above, like when I was reading magazines back in the day, 8 and above was like, right, I've definitely got to get this. Like 6 to 7 was like, I'll probably rent it first, and then I might buy it depending on how it plays out. And then, stuff below that, you read it for the review because you want to see it getting a kick in, because that's the best sort of reviews. Yeah, they're the most fun reviews.
If I like the look of something, that's always the thing that is I'm gonna want to find out more about it. And as long as it's not a stinker, then I'll as long as it doesn't get stinker scores, although then I'll probably go for it. Although saying that, my because I was looking forward to what's it called, No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
But have maybe walking around exploring stuff, maybe that's not for me.
So it's like I know we're sort of segueing out of this, but with No Man's Sky, I've tried to avoid any reviews of it, not reviews, but like features and previews and things like that. And like I kept seeing like quotes from people on Twitter, sort of saying like, we've played it. It is as good as we thought it was, and then the next tweet down is like, it's not what you thought it was going to be, and then the next tweet down is like, it's not great. We hope for more, type of thing. And it's like, already I'm intrigued to play that game because it's
going to be a bit opinion divider, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I'd rather play that than like a solid, like, you definitely have to play this game because it's a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. So
there's going to be more. There's stuff to do in it.
That's
the thing. That probably I probably still should give it a go anyway.
Exactly.
I like spaceships and that.
You was also talking about spaceships. You were talking about Resogun. Still playing it?
Well, Resogun, is because their new one, House Marquee's new one, is coming out soon. I think Alienation.
Yeah.
And I just find it amazing that I'm still playing Resogun now, which I didn't get it bundled in with the PS4 because I bought a PS4 later than launch.
Yeah.
But that still one of the PS4's best games, in my humble opinion, was given away with the console.
Yeah.
It must be one of the best launch games that's
ever been.
Because what's that? Right, so 2 years old now, coming up for 2 years old.
I'm trying to think of other games that would fit that? Because I really liked Resogun. Admittedly, I've not played it for ages.
Even when it came out, it was good. But the work they've done with it has just gone on. They've launched. It's the only game I've ever bought a season pass for.
Okay.
And the new modes they added on it were all solid, and they all brought something different and new to the game.
Okay.
And a lot of the complaints that were kind of levelled at it, or the small moans, like a local co-op thing, that was added in as a free update.
I thought you were talking about like the local co-op shop. I was like, what are you talking about here, mate?
Happy Shopper.
What are you talking about? Overherding co-op.
So they've added the stuff for free, but then the stuff that you pay for, and it's all pretty well priced as well. And it's the only thing.
Sorry to interrupt, but I've just watched a man just trip over and fall face first into a puddle outside.
That is Sheldon Freud. That's evil. Get it on YouTube.
Oh man. He's wearing flip-flops as well, so I mean, any man that's wearing flip-flops in the rain deserves what he gets.
You can't stand the rain.
He's not looking in a good way, to be fair.
Do you need to go and help him?
No, it's all right.
People
are helping him. It's fine.
You're right, mate. You'll probably take robbing his stuff, I expect.
That's why I'm not allowed out. I'm under house arrest in Dubai, mate. Got my ankle bracelet on.
Get his fucking car keys.
Sorry to just derail that. So Resogun. You bought the season pass.
So still playing it now, and play it weekly because I do the. They have a weekly challenge on there.
All right. Is that a new thing?
No, it's been going for ages. But every week they do like a different thing.
Right.
If I'm lucky, I'll get, or if I can get into like the top maybe 500 players.
All right.
So
decent.
it's pretty good, my standards. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But it's just because of all of that, because of everything, how good I think Resogun is. I think like Alienation is just going to be a day one purchase for me.
I've not. I have to admit, I've not seen anything of Alienation. I heard of it, but I've not seen anything of it. So I'll check it out. Is that coming to PS Vita as well?
I have no idea, mate.
Shouldn't have asked you any detailed questions. I should have learned my lesson by now. Never ask any further questions than what you offer up in terms of information.
I have no idea. My Vita's here. I'm looking at it now, and it's all got a little bit neglected. I need to see what's on the new PS Plus games this month.
I mean, what have I been playing? I've missed out on PS Plus since I've been out here. It's still connected to the UK account, but I've just been missing out on the PS Plus. I've not got time.
Broforce is one of this month's. It's really good. I'm really enjoying that.
Is that the 8-bit or 16-bit game? The one that looks like
the bitty.
Yeah. The one that looks like Metal Slug. Is it a side scroller?
Yeah, that's the kind of vibe. Yeah, it's a bit like Dig Dug actually. Can you remember Dig Dug where you used to like, because you can like go into the like underground, like go into the underground stuff collapses down on top of you and stuff like that. It's really good. And I like the like stupidly over the top gung ho bro kind of vibe.
Did you ever play? What was the game that was really big for a while? Spelunky. Did you ever play that?
Oh yeah, I like Spelunky. I didn't like it when I first played it, and then I got it on this Vita, and it was different.
Fit.
Oh mate,
ooh, like a glove. Ooh.
Hand in glove.
Oh, filth.
So I really like Spelunky, but not playing that. Playing Resogun still. That's it. That's it.
I'm trying to think of a launch title that was as good as Resogun. Launch title. I mean, I'm going back a long time now, but
Super Mario 64 is always the one, isn't it? And that was pretty important.
Game Boy came out with Tetris.
Tetris, Game Boy, yeah.
Mega Drive and
Mega Drive.
I don't know. Golden Axe was crap. In retrospect, Golden Axe was poor.
Golden Axe.
Did Streets of Rage come out as a launch title? I don't think it did it?
Was the Dreamcast launch titles? That had some launch titles. It had like a fighting thing that was quite good, didn't it?
PlayStation.
Don't make me. Ooh. Oh, hang on a minute. Just let me access my vast.
Oh brain. Yeah, just digging back through the memories.
Oh, hang on.
Definitely not using the internet.com.
Wikipedia. Here we go. Let's have a little look, shall we? What were you looking at? PlayStation. PlayStation.
Tekken.
Tekken
was a big one. I remember playing that in a video shop, in Blackpool, and they had it on the desk because they just got the PlayStation in, and they were selling it in there. And I played Tekken, and I think I played. Is it called Toshinden?
Yeah, Battle Arena Toshinden.
Yeah, played that as well, and I was like, got to have this for Christmas.
According to this, Tekken wasn't a launch game for the PlayStation.
Oh, maybe it was Toshinden then. That was
Toshinden. Similar kind of square-legged, like a Max Headroom.
There's a guy in it that's like Yoshimitsu, right? Or is Yoshimitsu actually in it?
Yeah, he's in Toshinden.
There we go. There we go.
Ridge Racer, that was on the PlayStation.
Ridge Racer.
N64 had Super Mario already.
GoldenEye?
GoldenEye.
Was that a launch game?
No, I don't think it was it?
No, I don't think it was either.
No, lies, mate.
What was the PlayStation 2's launch titles?
That was a Tekken game, wasn't it? The one that had Tekken Bowl, I seem to remember. No, wrong again. Sega Bass Fishing, classic.
Brilliant.
Toy Commander, classic. Sonic Adventure. What? Oh, that's the Dreamcast. I'm tripping, mate.
Tripping balls.
Here we go. It's PlayStation.
Come on.
It's digital. Tekken Tag Tournament, yeah.
No.
Time Splitters, SSX.
Oh, Time Splitters.
Yeah. First one, Smuggler's Run, classic.
Was Time Splitters, was this PS2 or PS1?
PS2.
Time Splitters could be a good one, but I don't think it would stand the test of time. Splitters.
I don't know if any of these games. Fantavision, you remember that, the firework thing?
Yeah. Again, but when I think of Resogun, Fantavision does spring to mind because it's the same sort of like visually appealing like setup, right, with the explosions and all the rest of it going on.
Yeah, loads of effects.
I think you might be right. Tell us if you're listening and you follow either Matt or me on Facebook, not on Facebook, on Twitter, then tell us
on MySpace,
on Friends Reunited. Tell us what the favourite launch game is, because we probably missed one. Matt's just going through the internet there.
I'm literally just looking at things on the internet. The GameCube didn't have a bad Super Monkey Ball. Star Wars Rogue Leader Squadron 2, Rogue Leader Squadron. It's quite good. Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Donald Duck Quack Attack.
I think Quack Attack. No, Quack Shot. Remember Quack Shot?
No, mate.
Quack Shot was amazing. Quack Shot was brilliant.
Crazy Taxi.
Hang on, was Quack Shot? Was Quack Shot a launch title?
Just saying game names now, aren't I?
Quack Shot.
So that's that. So Resogun, still one of the best games on the PS4. Amazingly given away for free.
Yeah.
Still being supported now, and for all of that, I feel like I'm in some kind of. I want to reciprocate to the House Marquee, so I'm going to put all my faith in them, and I'm going to take a big risk, and I'm going to spend £12 on their new game.
Whoa! Look at me! I've got £12.
It might even be £15 or £16.
Whoa! Get down the bank for a loan, then, mate.
If I pre-order, I'll get 10% off, so that'll save me a quid 60 or whatever.
There we go. You don't want to give them all the money, do you? You want to support them, but not all the way.
Yeah, I don't want to go too far.
No,
that's the only thing with digital games, you can't get your money back. I can't take it down to CEX.
Speaking of digital games, well, the last thing that I wanted to talk about on the poddle is I've been looking at the Division and the reviews and the things that have been happening recently because it's just been released finally. I think it's doing well in terms of sales. I've seen a lot of noise about it here and online as well. But one of the things that I have noticed is that there's some very fundamental problems that seem to keep appearing, and they're to do with it always being online, and connecting online. Apparently there's a laptop in the game. Did you hear that screaming?
Is that in your dungeon again,
It's
mate?
in the dungeon, yeah.
Get that soundproof.
I think the sedatives have wore off. But there's like a laptop in the first 5-10 minutes of the game where you have to, because it's always online, you have to go to this laptop and you have to log into something. I don't know what it is. Like the details are sketchy because I haven't actually played it. But I did see an image of like 20 real people or 15 real people queuing up behind this laptop, waiting to log in before they could actually play the game because they couldn't get any further without unlocking this thing.
When you say real people, you mean
as in avatars of the
gotcha.
people playing the game, customized into whatever way they want it to look like in their.
Sounds like a bag of shit.
Yes, and they were queuing up and waiting to use this laptop. And that's
is that
just
a problem
ridiculous.
that everyone's experiencing?
Yeah, and there's also a thing where if you just want to grief people, just stand in the doorway, and they can't get in or out of a door.
Well, no one would do that, would they? Because no,
Hang on. That's exactly what people would do.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, though. Like I think Ubisoft. I mentioned this before. Ubisoft has sort of messed up with Rainbow Six Siege's online capabilities, and I think the same sort of happening with The Division as well. And I'm not saying that like it's an easy thing to sort out, but I think with a push for doing proprietary technology, you know, they want to do it their way and have Uplay all connected to it and various other things. It stops the enjoyment for me, and I think from that moment that the game is launched and people are annoyed with it, they're constantly playing catch up to try and make it better. And it's not just them either. I think games companies, games developers, these like constant, it has to be always online, you always have to do like a login or something like that. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I'll give you another example. Just Cause 3, before you can play the game, press X at the beginning. Before you can play the game, you've got to log in online. And it takes like, I'm not joking, it takes like 5 minutes to log in.
Why do you have to do that?
To play the game. Because it's got like, it's always connected to like leaderboards and like, you know, scores and like different tasks and people calling you out, sending you emails and saying, look, I've just beaten your challenge and things like that.
It should be an optional thing, shouldn't it?
It should be.
I'm never interested in any of that bobbins, you know, but
no.
I know I've played some games, it's like, if you continue, you're not logged on, so none of your scores will be. I'm happy with that. That's fine.
I think that's from the PlayStation dashboard as well, isn't it? You know, that's like PlayStation and Xbox dashboard. It says you need this download, otherwise you won't be able to have access to online capabilities or some other crap. But games and developers and publishers these days just seem to be like, they seem to have a fizz in their groins about just making people connect to all of their online stuff. And it's just, I'm sick of it. Isn't it time we just
Especially if it's not going to work properly.
Exactly, and I think, like you just said then, it's time to give people that option of whether they just want to play completely offline. They don't want Uplay. They don't want, you know, Rockstar's social club or whatever. I'm not saying that's an example of something that's, you know, mandatory.
But you still need to go and sign up for bits.
Yeah, exactly. It's just let us play the game and just get on with it. Playing NBA the other night, NBA 2K16. I love that game. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite games on the PlayStation 4. And you can be playing halfway through a game and it'll pop up, update needed, return to menu. And there's no way of getting rid of that message. It's stuck on the screen while you finish your game. So it's constantly on there, and it constantly like brings you out of the, I'm playing in the NBA. I know you obviously know that I'm not, but it breaks that illusion, and it breaks the game's illusion that it's properly mimicking it. It's like someone going onto the court and just holding up a giant black sign like, please leave.
In the way of everyone.
Everyone, this game is not running as it should. And it's just, I'm just sick of that approach to forcing online, forcing people to like sign up for various things that they didn't buy the game for, you know? I'll play games to get away from all that shit. Exactly.
I just want to, you know, like even on the PS4, trying to turn off alerts and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what's happening, and I don't want everyone to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just like, how can I turn it off? As far as I think I've managed to stop something turning off, but I'm sure
I've got rid of the notifications where it keeps popping up going, Johnny Schminger has just joined a FIFA online or something like that.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what Johnny Schminger is doing.
Yeah, couldn't give two shits. But I'll tell you one of the things that you can't do with the PlayStation 4. I don't know if it's changed recently, but when I was checking, you can't turn off the fact that you're online, so you always show that you're online. The best that you can do is turn it off so that you're away, so it shows an orange clock that
as opposed to
the green. Is it a green tick? Green. Is it? Oh, it's just a green blob, isn't it?
Just to hide your hide your status or whatever.
Because I mean, when you're skiving off school or work or something, and you know that your boss has got your login details.
Yeah,
or he's friends with you. All he has to do is check his app, and he's online. He's playing FIFA. Look,
I don't have that problem.
Said he had a headache. I know you don't. Well, neither do I at the moment.
I'm no boss. My own boss.
Yeah.
I have to tell myself off.
Exactly.
Reprimand.
I thought you said tear yourself off. Then I thought it was going down a dark path.
Come on, mate. You just can't.
You dirty,
always got to bring it
rat.
back to. I'll tell you what I did play the other day.
Go on.
Was I finally got around to playing Metal Gear Solid's Ground Zeroes.
Oh, right.
Well, that was right.
And on that bombshell.
Hey guys, hot new take.
Hot take right there.
It was pretty good because I didn't really want to be doing all the sneaking around stuff and the story stuff. Because it was bookended with a lot of guff.
Yeah.
But it was okay. I found did a bit of sneaking around for a bit, and then I found like a massive gun that I could sit in.
Yeah.
And I just shot everyone, and they kept sending out more and more waves of enemies.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, this is just going to go on forever, but it's right, it's quite fun. I'm just enjoying sitting in this gun mowing everyone down.
Yeah.
And after about the 10th wave of enemy, like the enemy radio chatter was like, oh, we've run out of enemies. You're going to have to just fucking deal with it on your own now. And and then the level was sort of empty of enemies.
Oh, right.
So I was just free to sort of wander around. I thought it was quite good because I thought
that's quite nice.
That Kojima, he's overrated. He's still just using like endless, infinite amount of enemies from spawn points, and it was like, now we've run out of enemies. So.
Run out of enemies, like.
Yeah, there were still a few around, but like there were no more reinforcements.
They weren't causing a problem anymore.
Made it a lot easier. But I might actually go back and try and play that in some kind of proper way.
Well, that's interesting actually, because I played it and I wasn't blown away by it simply because it was the sneaking side of it, and I've realised as I've got older, I've got less time and patience for games where you have to sneak around, and because once you set out that way, you want to make sure that you are able to like stay in the shadows, and you could be 3 hours into the game, raise an alarm, and it's like, well, that's 3 hours wasted. 3 hours wasted.
Just get in that big gun, mate, mow everyone down, and then just wander around.
Exactly, and I think I was playing Hitman, the new Hitman, the beta's out at the moment on
Hitman and Her, yeah.
Yeah, Hitman and Her, another contemporary reference there for all the kids at home. I was checking out the beta, and the first part of that is like, it's like follow these instructions about how to get around. And it's telling you, it's a tutorial, but it's telling you how you can kill people in different ways. So the first time is like, go around, do it silently. The next time around is like, try it a different way, and it opens you up in this room that's like full of like guns galore, rocket launcher type style of things, and it's like, just do it however you want. And that's perfect then, because it's sort of saying like, there's, if you want to do it that way, then that's fine. If you want to do it this way, that's fine as well. But what I don't know is if that is rewarded in the same way as the silent assassin is rewarded. Because I know being a hitman is all about being quiet and all the rest of it, but if they're going to give you the guns and all the rest, and like the armory to go and kill everyone,
exactly.
You should have a reward for that as well. Like as you just said then, mowing all those people down in MGS Ground Zeroes, that's what you want the reward for. You killed everyone. Well done.
As long as you complete the objective.
Exactly.
However, you get a noisy assassin rating or something like that, maybe. That's Hitman games, that sort of stuff. I know some people absolutely love them, but that's just one. Stealth bits. Yeah. Never really for me. There's been a few games that I've actually enjoyed. Oh, what was the one I did enjoy? Oh, that was a PS Plus game as well, like a stealth
What's that?
This wasn't that
Stealth
stealthy.
Inc.
It was on Stealth Inc. I like. That was good. No, this was another one, like a spy thing. It was on Vita. What was
Spy
that
versus
called?
Spy.
It was barely stealth, though. I wouldn't call it stealth. Forget it. It's not stealth.
Right.
Forget it. I can't even remember what it's called. Something to do with spy
versus Spy.
Spy Minister.
Spy Minister. Yes, Spy Minister.
Hills have spies.
Oh, yeah.
Spikely.
Yeah.
Spinosaurus.
Yeah. Yeah. All your favourites.
I
Spy.
Spicicle.
I Spy.
How did the undercover agent get to work on his bicycle?
Right.
I had a good one the other day. Hang on.
No, come on now.
Oh, hang on.
Keep your dad jokes to yourself.
No, hang on. I got it. Did you hear? Did you hear about the?
Fucked it. Forget it.
Hang on.
Forget
Did you
it.
hear about
No.
The philosophical.
Oh my god.
Did you hear about the philosophical?
Oh my god.
Overweight monk in Robin Hood's Merry Men. He was the deep fat friar. Because he's deep, because he's like philosophical and that. And then he's a monk, so he's a friar, and he was overweight, so he's the deep fat friar.
Well, I think that's as good a place as any to end the podcast, to be fair.
What are you talking about?
On that,
end high, yeah,
on
end
that,
high, I see what you're saying.
exactly, because, I mean, next week, the only way is up, as Yaz once said. So anyway, that's the end of podcast episode, whatever number it is. Can't remember. Yeah, it's gone quick. I'm trying to keep it tight. Don't worry about that, mate. Don't worry how long it is. So we will try to get back on again next week, since though we both have a lot of free time at the moment.
Yeah, just get older. I'm just going to do it remotely from the Dole office.
Yeah, and I'll do it from Dubai's Dole office.
They got Wi-Fi down there.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll supply you with it. Tell them that you're working if you're signing over for it.
You need my details. I'm doing a podcast. New one. Give us me money.
Anyway, so it's goodbye from me.
Oh, it's good me.
Not sure what that was, but it's goodbye from Cundy. Thanks for listening, and speak to you again next week.
Cheers then. Oh, it's the Cundy and Nathan Show.